All right, welcome to JC Unplugged. And this week I've got two guests, actually two interviews I did earlier in the week that I want to share with you because I thought they were just awesome. And awesome is fitting for our very first guest. So WrestleMania 42 is coming back to Las Vegas April 18th and 19th at Allegiant Stadium. Tickets went on sale this past week. Go to Ticketmaster.com. These are tickets for those two-day combinations, so you get tickets to both nights. On sale now. So earlier in the week, I was inside Allegiant Stadium with The Miz, two-time WWE champion, 8-time Intercontinental champion. I don't even know how many times he's won the Tag Team Championship, but it was awesome to be with The Miz inside Allegiant Stadium. You'll see it as the backdrop, talking about WrestleMania, talking about his career, talking about his favorite WrestleMania moments, and the fact that The Miz now lives in Las Vegas. So let's go back to Allegiant Stadium, inside Allegiant Stadium, with none other than The Miz. WrestleMania tickets are on sale now, and I have a former 2-time world champion, former 8-time Intercontinental champion with me. It is The Miz.
You dressed for the occasion. You are ready for WrestleMania 42 to be in Las Vegas once again.
I am ready to go. How big is this? WrestleMania back-to-back in Las Vegas.
We don't do that.
No.
We do not do back-to-back, but Las Vegas was so amazing last year. I mean, it was record-breaking. And not only that, this city can hold. It has something for everyone.
Yep.
So we were like, what is a great city to, we should just go back to Allegiant Stadium because we had so much fun last year. We're bringing it back, WrestleMania 42, April 18th and 19th, Saturday, Sunday. It's 2 nights right here at Allegiant Stadium. You can't beat this stadium. I got to tell you,
How cool is this to be standing here?
It's amazing. It really is. The Raiders are very lucky to be here in a brand new stadium. And it is beautiful.
Now, we're lucky, too, because The Miz is a Las Vegas resident.
I am.
How do you like living in Las Vegas now?
So far, I've been here for 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm still in that honeymoon phase, but I find you can get to anywhere in a matter of like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
if I want to go kayaking, I can go kayaking.
Uh-huh.
If I want to go hike, I can go hike. If I want to do something on the Strip and have a 5-star amazing meal, not a problem. Vegas has it all.
Now,
by the way, it has stuff for my kids too.
Yeah, it's a great city for kids.
Dad, I want to go to like something HQ, like Spy Ninjas HQ.
Uh-huh.
We're going there. I was like, all right, we'll go there. Let's do it.
How many, 2 girls?
2 girls.
How was that?
It's been amazing. We went golfing yesterday, and my daughters are hitting the ball pretty well.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're 6 and 7, and they're hitting the ball almost better than me.
They're taking it to Dad, and Dad is
right.
The Miz. What is your personal favorite WrestleMania moment?
My personal favorite WrestleMania moment, I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
3. I'll give myself 3.
Give it to us, yeah.
First one is obviously I main evented WrestleMania, retained the WWE Championship, beating John Cena. Also, I would go with myself and my wife taking on John Cena and Nikki Bella was one of my favorites, just because I get to walk down the ramp with my wife. I've walked down the aisle, and then I walked down the aisle.
That's cool. Yes, absolutely. Cool. Yes.
And then I would say WrestleMania against Shane McMahon, where my dad got in the ring, and I said, Dad, if you get in the ring, just put your dukes up and fight.
Uh-huh.
And he put his dukes up like this. And I went. He went old-timey.
He went old-timey.
Put him up. I'm like,
he went
a
gimmicky.
1940s boxer. I was like, let's go, Dad.
That's awesome.
It became a meme. It was the most viral thing at WrestleMania that year.
That's classic. Was this the belt you won when you beat John Cena?
I won this belt, and we put it this way for The Miz.
Okay.
Boom. Just like that.
Now, I want to do something. I like to do this when I talk to professional wrestlers like yourself. I have a grab bag of wrestling.
You've talked to many professional wrestlers?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Okay, great.
Cody Rhodes.
I'm not the only one.
No,
Great.
but hey,
Thanks for making me feel special.
my favorite of all time. Reach into this bag. You're gonna pull out an old school wrestling figure and maybe give me a memory about this person. Okay.
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, legend.
Yes, he
Legend.
is an absolute legend. I'll give you a memory of this. First time I ever met Hulk Hogan, I was just coming into WWE, and I was not signed yet.
Uh-huh.
And so when you would go backstage, you were walking on eggshells. You were shaking everyone's hand. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I see Hulk Hogan go. And I went, oh, my God, all right. And he goes, hey, you're the guy off The Real World, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, I was on The Real World. He goes, tell me about that. So we talked for a half an hour about a reality show of The Real World with Hulk Hogan. By the way, as a child, if you'd have told me, like, hey, you're going to talk to Hulk Hogan about The Real World, and he was like, I didn't realize I was giving him advice, because the next summer, he was doing Hogan's Knows Best.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
I was like, he was putting himself
Picking your
in
brain,
my brain,
yeah.
picking my brain, while I should have been picking his brain about wrestling.
That's awesome, man.
Yes.
Miz, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us.
so
Appreciate
much.
it. WrestleMania tickets are on sale now. All the information is
Combo
on your
packs,
screen.
baby.
Get your
Both
combo
Saturday
back.
and Sunday.
I love it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I thought that was just incredible. Hanging out with The Miz inside Allegiant Stadium where WrestleMania 42 will take place. Again, that's April 18th and the 19th. And those tickets, Ticketmaster.com. 2-day combo tickets on sale right now. Eventually, we'll get the 1-day ticket sales taking place, but right now it's the 2-day ticket combo. So that was awesome to chat with The Miz this week. Also this week, I met up with Dewey Bunnell. So Dewey is one of the founding members of the band America. 23 studio albums, 17 Hot 100 hit songs. Songs like A Horse with No Name, Ventura Highway, Sister Golden Hair, Tin Man, Lonely People, You Can Do Magic, so many hit songs. I chatted with Dewey about the band's legacy and some of the stories behind those songs as well. So check it out. Here it is, Dewey Bunnell, one of the founding members of the band America. Dewey, this is an honor to have you on the show. First question, when you're driving in your car and one of your songs come on the radio, do you turn it up like I do?
Not necessarily, JC. I have a pretty good idea what it's going to sound like and what the lyrics are. But it's always exciting or always interesting or, wow, we're back on the radio. But this is my 55th year in this business and not too many things are new, JC. But thank you for it. Yes, it's always been great, especially if it's a song that isn't quite as usually played. Certain songs we get played a lot, and we're fortunate that way.
Well, the name America, I love the name, but I never knew the backstory of how did you come up with the name America? It's genius.
Well, we were these high school kids. Our dads were in the Air Force. We were stationed in London, England, late 60s, graduated from high school in 69. So we started there, and all of our contacts were British, and we played little British clubs, but we were always called, it's those American guys. So, I mean, America, it was, plus who are now great friends of ours, the band Chicago had recently come out, and we thought, gee, they called their name the city of Chicago. Just go for the whole shebang.
I love it. You just outdid any band that named themselves after a city. We got
That's right.
America.
Yeah, Kansas, forget it. We're
Ouch.
America. Coincidentally, we're
brilliant.
playing with Kansas in a little while, but been there, done that.
Right? Well, okay. There's so many questions for you. Horse with No Name. That's your creation. I mean, one of the top 25 songs of all time. How did you come up with the lyrics? What's the backstory on such a legendary song like that?
It was a very simple kind of a travelogue in my mind. Again, living in England, it was always rainy, and my families had been stationed. Our uncle was stationed in Arizona and New Mexico, and we visited and driven around the desert and Painted Desert and the Mojave Desert. My brother and I always poked around for snakes and lizards and things. And there I was in rainy old England, and the first thing I wanted to imagine and put into words was the sights and sounds of the desert when we started writing songs. And lo and behold, it's still there, that song.
All your songs are still there. I hear one of your songs like on a TV show. I remember on an episode of Friends, Horse with No Name was on an episode. I felt like it had to do with something with Joey. Do you make that decision as to what TV shows and movies use your music, or is that a record label thing?
No, yeah, a lot of people ask about that kind of stuff. It's licensing. Virtually anybody can license your music uh, within reason. I mean, obviously, if it's something that is detrimental to people or something, we wouldn't want to put our name to that. But by and large, it's licensed from the publisher who owns the copyright. And as the writer, I have the right to say I don't want it in that show. But never in all these years have I ever suggested otherwise. It's nice to have them in these things. So we're really at arm's length from that stuff.
Yeah, I think it also introduces your music to a new audience. I mean, at the time, I knew America, I knew your songs. I remember hearing that A Horse with No Name on an episode of Friends. I'm like, that's America, and they're on Friends. This is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is. That part is very cool. It is nice to hear it coming on the radio, like you said earlier, but it's really great to see it in a show or in a movie. And we've been fortunate to have a lot of our stuff used, background music. Sometimes the song's actually apropos to whatever the scene is being shot, but it's really great to see it in on shows and movies. Yeah.
I saw you guys out here. You were at Lake Las Vegas, 4th of July. It had to be like 2006, 7, 8, somewhere around there. But here in Las Vegas. And I mean, to me, that was America. It's the 4th of July. I'm out at the lake. America is playing. It was just an
Great.
awesome evening. But I'll never
Yeah.
forget
We've always
Ventura
got
Highway. Would you remember that
Ventura.
concert, by the way?
I do remember that vaguely. I mean, these they run together, I have to say, Gypsy, but I do remember Lake Las Vegas. And it's one of those things where y you know, the songs are have a life of their own and certain songs work in various places. I mean, it's really hard to explain how that works. I mean, I it's always amazed me how our music has gotten to so many places and so many people know the music. I guess any artist, and I know lots of artists, and we've worked with lots of them over the years, are always amazed by how far-reaching music in general is. You know, it's an important part of all of our lives, and so I'm honored that that happens.
Well, Ventura Highway, you guys start playing that song, and everyone was going crazy for all your music that night. But when that song started, for some reason, the crowd went extra wild for Ventura Highway. That's one
Yeah.
of yours as well. That's one of your babies. I just got to ask the inspiration for that song.
That was another case of the family driving. We were stationed out in Air Force family, as I said earlier, stationed at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and we would drive down to Los Angeles to go to Disneyland or whatever. And you'd drive down that coast highway, and you'd go through the town of Ventura, and there's Ventura County, Ventura Boulevard. And so again, I was drawing on, again, I wrote that in England as well. Started it in England, and I think by the time we got back over the States in 72 or late 71, whenever it was, I finished it. But again, it was drawing on an experience that the family had, and I love the outdoors. My brother and I spent a lot of time outdoors and the ocean, seeing the Pacific Ocean out there, and Ventura Highway per se. It's actually the Ventura Freeway. That's another road, but you know, it inspired that lyric, that visual.
Yeah, tr transcends generations. You guys, how as a band this long, this successful, and I mean there really is zero scandal when it comes to America. What's the secret to the success?
I think that's the yeah, we're too clean. I don't know why that is. I mean, we had bumps in the road. We went through all kinds of issues over the years, but yeah, people mention that. Yeah, that's why we can't get on any of the shows that are looking into problems. Let's go with that. But no, we've kind of we've stuck together, you know, because we were these three kids that had come out of families that traveled so much. We bonded very much so. And after we made that first album and came to the States, we stuck together really tightly, the original trio. And, you know, we just had our standards and we did what we did as a team. I've never really worked with any other bands. I've never made a solo album. I always enjoyed being part of that team. You know, we've had different bass players and different members of the greater band. We're a five-piece now. That's what we'll be playing in Vegas with a bass player, a drummer, a lead guitar player. Um, and so it's always just I just like being part of that team, you know, and moving around as a gang.
Yeah, it's scandal free. It's amazing. You worked with the legendary producer George Martin, who worked with the Beatles, correct?
Correct. That was we produced the first three albums pretty much by ourselves. We did have our British manager and a producer on the first album, so that was credited to the three entities. But then the second and third album we produced ourselves, and at that point we knew this is a bigger job than just going in there and saying, "Hey, that guitar sounds nice." And it was a lot of effort when you're combined with writing and going out in the studio and recording and doing vocals and overdubs. We need a producer, and George Martin happened to be in town. We were being managed, of course, by a powerful man at that by that point, David Geffen, and Geffen arranged a meeting for us with George. We hit it off immediately and went on to make 7 albums together. And he was just a wonderful man. And your listeners will know that he produced all the Beatle records except for one, Phil Spector did. And so George really was at the helm. And with George, we got Jeff Emmerich, the engineer. It was like a 2-for-1 deal. And they did all the Beatles albums. And oh, it was a wonderful experience doing those projects.
Well, in your time working with George and all those albums, did you ever have any Beatles instruments cross over to one of your albums? Maybe you're in the same studio that they use and you picked up.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, George, he was recording at that point out at Air Studios. Of course, the Beatles worked at Abbey Road. We never did. We did work at Abbey Road much later, even post George Martin years. But yeah, one time I remember he went back into the storage room and brought out, I believe it was a cowbell, and he said, "This is the one we used on Yellow Submarine." And we thought, "Oh, that's great. We got the Yellow Submarine cowbell in there." But we tried desperately not to bug George and Jeff for that matter about all the Beatle records and what happened when you made Sergeant Pepper and what happened when you made Revolver and how did you get that guitar sound? We were getting it by osmosis anyway. And Jeff Emmerich, who was a great engineer, was getting sounds that he'd used. For your listeners, it's even a little techie for me, but there's a lot of things that innovations that George and Jeff brought into the music scene, mic placement and weird things that we benefited from with those two guys.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't run through all your hit songs because this is just, I mean, how often you get to talk to a founding member of America. Dewey, this is spectacular. I Need You, the inspiration or maybe a story behind I Need You.
Well, with all these songs now, each of us wrote individually. That song was written by Jerry Beckley, my partner. And it was like one of the first songs he brought to the table. And it seemed like such a mature song, beautiful ballad, great sentiment, great melody. And I Need You like the flower needs the rain, it speaks for itself. It's a great love song. But again, it's hard for me, I didn't write that one.
Did you write Lonely People?
Dan Peake wrote Lonely
Okay.
People. Dan
When,
was our third member who left the band in 77, so it was way back, long time ago. And I think his wife, Kathy, they were very close and co-wrote together. And I think Kathy had a hand in the lyrics on that one.
what's it like for you when you play that song on stage? 'Cause that's a song so many times, kind of like in a rough patch in life, and that song
Yeah.
comes on the radio and you turn it up and it's speaking to you. And it's like, you know what, everything's gonna be all right when you hear that
I
song.
agree. Yes, I agree. And we do that every night. I sing it now. I sing that song and I love interpreting it. And whenever I introduce it, this next one is for all the lonely people. It gets kind of a ah and a ooh, and it's got that great piano break, that kind of honky tonk in the middle, and it's a great song.
So good. Sister Golden
I
Hair?
can I can say that objectively as a song, not just because it's America's song. I think it's a great song.
Sister Golden Hair.
That was Jerry's too.
Hmm.
And that's Jerry's. He'd always say he did have a sister with blonde hair, and his mother said he had a British mother, like I had a British mother. Oh, he's written a song about his sister. No, it isn't, Mom. It's not about Suzanne was his sister, or is his sister's name. But so again, I can't really speak to it, but that was a #1 record. So um, it was a big, big hit, and we closed the show with that one now, and then if and when we get an encore, which is a given every night, I shouldn't be giving this all away. Then we come out and do Horse. Sometimes we mix it up, but generally speaking, those are the last two songs. So you got to wait around all the whole show to hear those two.
Oh yeah, why would you leave an America concert early? Seriously, you're
It's
doing
all a
something
ploy
right
to
to
keep
do.
you in your seats.
There's so many hit songs. You have no duds. There's no room for a bathroom break in an America concert. Because as soon as you start the next song, like I love this song, I can't go to the bathroom now.
We are lucky that way, but that's been 50 years plus. And of course, the concentrated years of the 70s into the early 80s, You Can Do Magic was our last big top 10 record, and that was in the early 80s. But most of the songs were in that zone, the 70s music, Tin Man and Sandman and um, um, any number of, you rattle them off, you had the list, but Horse and Ventura Highway. We're top 10, Lonely People, Sister Golden Hair, You Can Do Magic. I should have these down. I better go rehearse after we hang up.
It was
But we've been working this
you're naming your
summer.
kids. You're naming your kids. Sometimes forget your kids' names.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting there. I'm getting older now, and I feel it. I feel it in a good way, really. I'm really happy to be evolving and going into a later stage of my life. It seemed like we were kids forever. They say musicians never grow up, and to some degree, it's true, um, because we've got this fun lifestyle, but everything gets old, and we're getting older too.
Well, that sounds like a song lyric right there. My gosh, that was so good. Well, listen, your music is timeless. So many wonderful hits, so many great songs. I think for every single song you have, when someone hears it, it connects them on a personal level. It brings back a certain memory. It sparks a relationship. It sparks something. And Dewey, thank you so much for sharing your gift with the world and giving us so many incredible songs. We can't wait to see you here in Las
Oh,
Vegas.
you're very kind, JC. I appreciate it very much, and thank you. We're looking forward to it. It's always exciting when I stand in those wings waiting to go on stage. It's like, here we go in the starting blocks, and I take it very seriously. I love doing it.
Well, we love it. Dewey, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, JC. Onward.
I just thought it was so cool chatting with Dewey to learn about the band, the history of the band, the stories behind some of those iconic songs that America has put out. So thank you for watching JC Unplugged. If you just joining the show, you got to go back and watch it, replay somehow, because The Miz was on earlier, and then Dewey Bunnell from America. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.